Well, the defense was up first, Adam, saying that the state did not prove without a reasonable doubt that Owen Labrie sexually assaulted a fellow student, as he has been charged of doing. Lawyers for Labrie went down the list of charges and asked the jury to question, are these the words and actions of a rape victim, which included what she said to him in emails and what she told the first people she saw after the alleged assault. The defense talked about how she first denied the senior salute, but later, against her older sister's wishes, accepted it. Labrie's lawyer pointed out that she painted a compelling picture of herself when she was on the stand of an innocent girl who had never had sex before, and that picture stayed intact until the defense asked her one key question. What did she say to her roommate before she left to meet Labrie, and what were her expectations for that night? And here's the final thought the defense left with the jury.
I'm not saying he is a saint. He's not a saint. He's a teenager. But I submit he told you the truth from that stand. And at the end of the day, if you cannot say, I believe everything beyond a reasonable doubt, then the prosecutor has not met her burden on any of the charges. And the defendant is entitled to be found by you not guilty.
After that, it was the prosecution's turn to remind the jury about the evidence provided in this case. The state says Owen Labrie did have a plan for a senior salute. He chose the location, and he brought with him a blanket and condom, and then bragged about having sex with the alleged victim, telling his friends, quote, he pulled every trick in the book, in messages that he deleted from his Facebook account, one of more than 100 messages that they say he deleted after talking with police. At one point, the prosecutor actually pointed directly at Labrie when he was talking about the DNA found inside the alleged victim's underwear, and then reminded jurors of his own written words, that he put a condom on halfway through this encounter.
This happened at St. Paul's School, where there's a tradition called the senior salute, where, by the defendant's own words, older students take great pride in taking the virginity of younger students. Now, don't be fooled by what defense counsel told you. This isn't the school's fault. This isn't the fault of the culture that's at St. Paul's School. It was the defendant who manipulated that culture to get what he wanted.
The prosecutor asked the jury to evaluate Labrie's credibility like any other witness, and asked if it also made sense that he suddenly stopped during this encounter after putting a condom on. And he said to the juror, remember, if the victim is lying, think of what else she put herself through. The state also reminding the jury it's state law that the victim's story doesn't have to be corroborated, and because of her age when this occurred, it was all a crime. We're going to have much more on the closing arguments in this case starting tonight at 5 o'clock. But for now, reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Josh McKelvin, WMUR News 9.